Fine. If you observe this question, right, this code is received at the receiver side, and there are three parity bits. And what is the mechanism they used is even parity method they used. Now what they are asking us to find out is find if any error, if possible, correct the error. So this problem we need to solve using Hamming method, right? So one of the method for error detection and error correction is the Hamming method. Right, now if you understand, there are two types of problem in case of error detection and error correction for Hamming method. So one is transmitter side, another one is the receiver side. So if you observe this question, from the question itself we can identify this is the code or data code which is received at the receiver side. Right, now first we will see what is the difference between transmitter code as well as the receiver code. Then we will try to solve this problem. We are going to find out whether it is error or error free code. If it is error, we are going to identify in which location we have the error. Right, now see that transmitter code is nothing but initially you will be having the message bit value. Then what we have to find out is we need to find out the parity bit value or extra bit value. The question will be look like this: they will be giving some message bit value. So for this message bit value, what we have to do is we need to add the extra information. That extra information we are calling as the parity bits. In order to find out the parity bits, we have the formula 2 power p greater than or equal to m plus p plus 1. So what I'm trying to say here is, at input question transmitter part, you will be getting only message bit value. We don't get any extra bit value, nothing but the parity bit value. Right, so in this case what we are doing means we are finding the extra bit, how many extra bits are required, so in which location we need to add the extra bit. That's what we are completing. Once it is done, you will be getting the transmitter part. It is a combination of these two things. Now come to receiver code word. The receiver code word is also combination of the message bit will be there as well as the parity bits also will be there. But here thing is that what you have to understand from transmitter code to receiver code is, right, so here we don't need to find out again parity bit value. Right, so what I'm trying to say is, again we don't require to find out the parity bit value in case of the receiver code. Right, why we should not find out the parity bit value in receiver code means, whatever the message we have earlier in the transmitted part, we have find out the parity bit value, right? Then again we don't require to find out the parity bit, because the information is nothing but the combination of the message bit plus parity bit at the transmitter side. So we have already obtained the parity value, then that particular parity value plus message bit value we have sent it from the transmitter to the receiver. It may be wide medium or wireless medium. Now thing is that the receiver does not know anything about the transmitter. Right, receiver don't have any relation with the transmitter, and receiver received this particular code. Right, but the thing is that receiver has to identify whether the information received is correct or not. So in this case, if you don't know anything about the transmitter, which is what is the information that is being sent, even though we need to find out the received information is correct or not. So if you see this question, I am not going to tell what is the transmitted code, right? Only I am explaining that this is the code which I received, you find the error or not. So in this case we are using the Hamming method. Now if you ask me, without knowing transmitted code, how we can find out the received code is correct or not? So by using this extra mechanism. Right, so by using this extra mechanism we are going to find out whether this message bit value is correct or not at the receiver side. Right, that is the reason why we are finding the parity bit value. Right, so simple point to be remember is receiver code consisting of the message bit as well as the parity bit. Then most important point to remember is we don't need to find out the again parity bit value. It means we should not apply the 2 power p greater than or equal to m plus p plus 1. Right, now only at the receiver side we need to identify whether the received information is correct or not, that we have to do. Right, so first what we will do is just calculate the how many number of bits we have. Right, so if you consider count the total number of bits, we have the 7 bits. Right, so in the given question also they have mentioned they have used the 3 parity bit. The first identification is that in the given question they have used the 3 parity bits. Now what parity mechanism they have attached at the input side, at the transmitter side? Even parity mechanism is attached. Right, so out of 7 bits, if 3 bits are parity bits, right, so out of total bits are 7 bits, nothing but the total length of the code word. So code word is nothing but the combination of the message bit plus parity bit. Right, so out of 7 bit they have given right? Parity bits equal to 3. Now what is the M value? The remaining 4 are the M value, right? So in this receiver code we have 4 message bits, we have 3 parity bits. Out of this, means by using these 3 parity bits we are going to identify whether the received information is correct or not, right? Now we'll try to solve this problem, right? If you observe here, total number length of the message bit, sorry, receiver code word is the 7 bit, right? So just what I'm doing here is just I'm writing the decimal numbers 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. I'm writing the decimal numbers, right? Once it is completed, right, why I'm writing 1 to 7 means we have the length of the code is 7 bit numbers, right? Next what we will do is, what is the receiver code word they have given? 1 0 0 1 1 0 0 is the receiver code word they have given. Now what we will do is we will try to write the binary numbers, right? So what is the maximum number? 7, right? What is the binary number for 7? 111. So what is the binary number for 1? 0 0 1 0 1 0. Like this we will write the binary representation, right? First we are writing the how many bits we have, nothing but the length of the receiver code word. Then we are writing the what is the corresponding receiver code we receive. Then just we are writing the binary representation, right? Once it is done, so this is how we represent the binary value for this code. Now out of these 7 bits, if you observe, out of these 7 bits, 4 bits are the message bit, remaining 3 bits are the parity bits. Now we need to identify out of these 7 bits which location we need to place the parity bits and which location we need to place the message bit, right? Then we have the formula, right? How to find out the parity bit value? What is that formula? The formula is R power 0, R power 1, R power 2 binary representation formula, right? It means 1, 2, 4, 8 for binary number system, right? So this is the location we need to place the parity bit value, right? So how many parity bits value we have? As per the question, 3 parity bits, right? So what is the first location? Number 1, right? So here we need to write the P1. So what is the second location? Here we need to write the P2. Next, what is the one more location? 4th location, right? At the 4th location we need to write the P3. So we are following this direction, right? If you are following this direction, if this is empty, 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 empty cells, right? If it is not parity bit, then what is the meaning of this one, right? Message bit only, right? So just we are mentioning this as the M1, M2, M3, M4, that's it. Now what we are going to do is, after this, by using of these parity bits, we are going to identify whether this combination of the message bit received is the correct or wrong by using of the Hamming method, and the mechanism we should use the even parity mechanism, right? I hope you understand, right? Right, by using of that parity bit also we are going to find out whether the received information is correct or not, right? Without parity bit we cannot able to identify whether the received information is correct or not, right? So this part also completed. Now what we have to do is we need to find out the P1 value, right? We need to find the P1 value, P2 value, P3 value, then finally we need to find out the P4 value. First what we will do is we will find the P1 value, right? So what is the P1 value we need to find out? So I already told in transmitter session, P1 should be compared with the message bit 1, message bit 2, message bit 3, message bit 4. It means that, right? So all parity bits, it should be compared with the message bit values, right? So parity bit should compare only with the message bit, not with the parity bit value. Remember this point. So now what we have to do, we need to compare the P1 with the M1. In which location we have the 1 in parity bit value? So this is the LSB bit value, we have 1, right? So it should be compared with the M1 LSB bit is 1 or not, right? So now see that here we have the LSB bit value 1, here also LSB bit value equal to 1. If both are matches, what is that value? This value is 1, we need to write. Before that, we already know that what is the value of the parity value, right? In transmitter part we don't know parity value, in receiver part we don't know, we know what is the parity value. So that also we need to include, right? So first what is the P1 value? The P1 value is the 0, right? This P1 value equal to 0. Now compare P1 with the M1. So one location only we have the 1, based on this we are going to find out, right? So compare with this one, yes, first location, you don't need to consider this one, only check, right, whether it is matching or not. If it is matching, what is that value? 1 is that value. This value we have already written, right? 1 is that value. Now compare P1 with the next message bit M2. Now first place, do we have the 1? Here we have the first place 1, right? LSB bit. Yes, matching means what is that answer? We need to write the 0, right? Now again compare P1 with the M3. See that here LSB bit value is 0, here LSB bit value is 1. It means it is not matching. If it is not matching, we should not write this value, we should discard, right? Once it is completed, now what we will try to do is, we'll compare P1 with the M4. Right, now see that LSB bit value equal to 1, again it is matches with the P1 LSB bit value 1. So what is that answer? For M4, that answer is 1. Now as per the given question, right, which parity mechanism we need to use? Even parity mechanism. Right, what is the meaning of even parity mechanism? Means if you count, then total number of ones should be even, right? Fine, just count the total number of ones here. How many ones are? 2 ones. 2 1 means even number or odd number? Even number, right? So what should be the answer? What we have to place here? 0 or 1? 0. If you place 0, then what will be? It will be look like something like this. 0 1 0 1 0. Again it is even number only. Suppose if you write instead of 0 here, if you write 1, then what will be happen? 0 1 0 1, this value 1. So now this will be become odd number because 3 ones, right? So here output should be 0. Now remember that what is the P1 value we obtained? 0 is the P1 value we obtained, right? Fine, just remember that P1 value we got as the 0. Now what we will do is, right, we will find the P2 value also, right? So P1 value we got 0. Now we are going to find out the P2 value. Now P2 should be compared with what? Message bit. Just see that in which location we have the 1 in P2, second bit location, right? It should be matches with the all other message bits, right? You check in M1, do we have the second bit 1? Yes. What is that answer? 1. Just write down 1. Before doing this, P2 value already known value, right? That also we need to write, right, in the receiver section, right? Now once it is completed, now compare P2 with next message bit value, M2 value. Now do we have in the second location 1? No, means it is not matching with this one, right? If it is not matching, we should not write this value, right? Now what is the answer? We need to skip this one. Again P2 should be compared with the message bit 3. Now do we have this location 1? Yes. So what is that value? 0 is that value, right? Again P2 should be compared with what? M4 we need to compare. Do we have second location 1? Yes. If it is yes, what is that answer? 1. Now count the total number of ones. Even, right? Even means what should be the output value? 0. Why 0 means? It's something look like 0 1 0 1. The output is 0. Again it will be even number because as per the given question we need to find out the even parity value. Now what is the P2 value we got? P2 value also 0, right? P2 value also 0. Now what is the remaining value? The remaining value we need to find out the P3 value, right? So P3 value. So what is the initial value of P3? P3 value is 1, that we need to note down, right? Now in which location we have the 1? In the third location, nothing but the MSB bit. Now compare with the message bit value M3, M1 as well as the M4 also. Like that we need to compare. First what we will do is, we will compare the P3 with the message bit 1. So in the third location we have 1, right? Do we have third location 1? No, right? So we should skip this, right? Once again compare P3 should be M2, right? Do we have the third location 1? Yes. If it is yes, what is that answer? Answer is 0, right? Now compare P3 with the M3. Do we have the third location 1? Yes. What is that value? 0. This value we need to write down. Next compare again, right? P3 with M4. Do we have third location 1? Yes. What is that value? 0. Now what is the even parity? It is already even number, so output should be 0. So remember that. So what is the P1 value we got? 0. P2 value we got 0. P3 value also 0, right? So as I mentioned that based on the P1, P2, P3 value, we are going to identify whether it is error or error free, right? P1 value equal to 0, P2 value equal to 0, P3 value equal to 0, right? So we have something integer part, one more is the fractional part, right? So integer part followed by this direction, fractional part followed by this direction, right? So whatever the problem we are solving, right? So we are solving for integer part, means we need to take this direction output. That means that first output, second output, third output, right? First output, second output, third output. What is the first output of P1 value? 0. What is the second output of P2 value? 0. What is the third output of P3 value? 0. Now in which location we have the error? You convert this number in terms of the decimal number, so answer will be 0. In the location of the 0 we have the error, right? So what is the meaning? The received code is either error free or it may be error code. So if you receive the final answer is parity bit value 0, means the error is not in the 7th location, means this is the decimal number 0 is not matched with the 7, right? Same, the decimal number 0 is not matched with the 6, no, 5 also not, 4 place also it is not, 3, 2, 1 also it is not. Now where is the error we have? It means that we don't have any error in the receiver code word. What is the meaning of this one? The transmitter code word equal to receiver code word, right? Fine, you may have the doubts. For example, suppose if instead of this value, if I get something 0, something like 001. Now what is the meaning of this decimal number 1? This decimal number means 1. It means in the location 1 we have the error. Where we have the location 1? This is the location 1, right? So here we have the error. Error means which bit? 0. 0 means what is the answer? It should be 1, right? So this is the correct code word, right? Means we are identifying the in which location we have the error, and also we are correcting the, if error 0 means we have only two possibilities, right? Either it may be 0 or 1, right? So we are flipping it to 1. So this will be our correct receiver code word, right? Thank you.